Not sure what happened. Okay.
Good day, viewers. Welcome to the show. I am Sydney Winston. I am an atheist activist out of Vancouver, Canada. And with us is the African Humanist. And I'll let her introduce herself. Go ahead.
Hello, Sydney.
Hi.
Hey. So, I am the African Humanist, and I started my channel barely a year ago,
Okay.
and I am what you would consider a new atheist.
A new atheist. Okay.
Yes,
What's a new
fairly,
atheist?
fairly, fairly new. Um,
How
I've
new?
only
How new?
about 2 years. I mean,
Okay.
I was
Okay.
I was religious all my life. I was born into the religion, and I made my way out of Christianity.
Yeah. Good for you.
And when I realized the lies and you know, it just didn't make sense, and how people still believe this thing, and they're willing to give everything. I decided I've got to speak. I've got to start a YouTube channel
Yeah.
where I can present things
Yes.
to people to just let them understand that their religion is nothing to write home about.
It's bullshit.
Um, so when I came out as an atheist,
Yes.
I got people telling me that I'm not allowed to be an atheist.
Who told you you're
I,
not allowed to be an atheist?
family members.
Oh dear. Well, you should listen to your
Appa-
family.
Apparently, it is unacceptable.
Is that right?
But these family members are not putting food on my table.
Right. Okay.
They're not putting money in my account.
In your bank account. Right.
So their opinions really doesn't matter much in the grand scheme of things.
I understand.
Do what I want to do when I want to do it.
Right.
So no, thank you. I am not even entertaining that. I can be whatever I want to be, and so I started my YouTube channel.
Okay.
And I am originally from Africa, but I live in the UK now. I've lived here nearly 20 years.
All right.
But then I was introduced to religion in Africa, and I see the damage that religion is doing to my fellow Africans.
Yep.
And that's why most of my content shows the ridiculous things that go on in churches and religious establishment and just religious people in Africa in general.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm open to start talking about more contents, about your title, Sydney, says Christianity is stupid.
Mm-hmm.
and I agree.
Do you think it's a little bit too kind of aggressive of a title,
Out.
or is it just damn true?
It is damn true, but it depends who's looking at it. It depends um, who's viewing. Some people are easily offended
Hmm.
when it comes to their religion. They're easily, um, you know, how can you, how can you, uh, rubbish my God? How can you hurt my feelings?
Oh, poor feelings.
But then I ask myself, isn't your God big enough to fight for himself, herself?
There you
Let
go.
him or her do. Don't get offended on behalf of your deity. You know,
Yeah.
makes no sense.
So what's your? I hear that I hear your story, or I hear your. You don't understand how people can be the way they are, or religious people, and so on and so forth. But for all those years that you were religious,
I was.
how did you actually wake up every morning and did you have to consciously acknowledge God, or how did God actually affect your minute to minute thinking, if at all?
So we're made to believe that God watches 24/7.
Right.
So whether you're thinking of it or not, he is there somewhere. He is looking
Mm-hmm.
and he is ever present.
Okay.
I remember sayings like, he's an ever present help in time of trouble.
Okay.
Uh, he's there when you're not looking. I remember saying, there was this one, um, you know, the times when you were not able, he was the one who carried you. You know, so even though this being is never seen, but in his subconscious, you just think he is there.
Right.
So everything you do, even though you still sin, you still look. There's no Christian on the surface of this earth that can tell me that they don't sin. They sin.
Now,
It's
okay. Can I let me ask you a question? When you say sin,
according
what exactly is sin that the Christians do that is not really a sin? What is a sin to start off with? I still don't even know what that means.
so according to now sin according to the Bible mainly
Oh, okay.
stems
Yeah,
from
yeah.
the Ten Commandments, and after then, depending on what church you go to, what denomination, what person, what Christian you're talking to, what pastor, sin is completely different for everywhere you go, right?
So how can you not sin then?
That's the thing. I just said it. Whether you like it or not, you will sin.
Oh, okay, got it.
You will sin.
Mm-hmm.
But the Christian's way of rationalizing this is once you give your life to Christ,
Yes.
somehow you've got a kind of covering. And when you realize you've sinned, what you need to do is to come back and say, I'm sorry. And then
Fair
all
enough.
is
So
forgiven.
simple enough.
All is forgiven. All is well.
You
You
know what
know?
it seems to me? It seems to me that out of the three Abrahamic religions, you got your Jews, your Christians, and your Muslims. It seems to me that the Jews and the Muslims are more difficult to stick to their rules than the Christian cult. It's a lot easier to be a Christian than it is to be a Muslim or a Jew, because to be a Christian, it's just a matter of words and no deeds. There's no action.
Right.
With Jews, with Muslims, there's action, action, action every day, all the time. With Christianity,
Hey,
right?
you've got to pull out the mads.
You got to put it exactly.
The rituals, and my goodness.
Right now in Christianity, there's nothing. It's just, oh, I believe and I'm going to live forever and you are going to hell. That is the sum total of Christianity. Mm-hmm. Lazy people become Christians and industrious people become Jews and Muslims. Tongue in cheek a little bit.
Okay.
But not too much.
When I left the religion,
yes.
Some people, when they leave religion, they kind of look for something to fill up the gap, to fill up the hole, what's been left behind.
Yep.
I remember one of your videos just a couple of days ago. This lady who'd left religion, but now she's into astrology.
Okay, yeah, I remember that. I can't remember her name.
One of your videos that you presented.
Yes.
In my case, I wouldn't know much about Islam or Judaism, because when I left religion, I just saw religion for what it was: man-made, and it's just people's way of just trying to make sense of this life.
Well, let me ask you something. Well, I'm sorry, finish your point. I've got a question for you, but finish your point.
All religions, as far as I'm concerned, are all the same. They're not the same, but then I'm anti-religion. All religion, whatever shape, form it comes in, I am not interested.
Right. I got a question for you.
Okay.
As a woman, the question is for you as a woman. How does a woman, a female, get involved or get, what's the word? How does a woman join a religion or believe in a God that obviously is anti-woman, is a misogynist? The whole religion, the whole ritual, everything is anti-woman. Woman is second class, submissive, has to listen. He's not the boss, gets bossed. There's rules. Women have their place, shouldn't talk, should cook. All this kind of stuff that's in the Christian Bible, or all of them really, but in the Christian Bible, the one that you followed, that God, how did you as a woman accept a God who pretty much looks down on you in terms of your value against a man? How?
In my case, I was born into the religion, so I had no choice. You accepted it.
Indoctrination.
You grow up believing that the woman is beneath the man.
Exactly. Now, how does a woman, a person, a human being, with self-worth, hopefully, or with just an open mind, how do you accept that?
In many cases, it's not acceptable.
Yes.
But you learn to live. You learn to live with it. You learn to cope. You learn to accept that the man. I'll tell you a little story.
Okay.
Of myself.
Go ahead.
I was in an abusive marriage for 10 years. And my ex was a Bible believer. I mean, Christian. He had the biggest Bible. When he's in church, he is the best prayer person in the church.
Okay.
He even held a position in church.
All right.
But his behavior, my goodness, his behavior was nothing to write home about.
Uh-oh. That didn't look good.
Um, when the marriage started to go, uh, you know, down the drains,
Yeah.
we sought help from the religious leaders.
Oh,
And
yeah?
do you know what I was told?
No, I can imagine, but I don't want to guess. You tell me.
I was told it was my duty as the woman to pray for his behavior to change.
Okay, so he didn't have any involvement at all. You do the praying, and somehow his behavior will change.
And the God of the Bible hates divorce. So divorce was not even an option.
Was this Catholic?
No, it's Pentecostal.
Oh, okay. I don't quite know what that means, but all right.
Yeah, it's more what do you call this? Pentecostal. Um,
Is that the speaking in tongues?
yes,
Is that the
yes,
biting snakes' heads and stuff? That one?
that's the one.
No,
That's the
okay.
one.
The
Yes,
one where snakes you can tame a snake or something like that.
that's the one. I never saw a snake being tamed, but that one.
Well, I'm not quite sure what the story is
Yes,
then,
that is
but
that
I know
kind of
there's
person.
snakes involved, and I know that people have died or pastors have died.
Yes, I've got.
You put up a I haven't seen it yet, but you put up a video of a pastor dying, or a couple of them
Yes,
dying for different reasons.
one I put up yesterday of a pastor who wanted to recreate the
Right,
Daniel being thrown into the lion's den,
correct.
and this particular man actually walks into the lion's den and gets mauled by the lions. He was,
Mauled to death.
yes, absolutely, yes, he died.
Well, the thing
And
is, if you're going to be walking into a den of lions, my suggestion to the pastor is do it right after the lions have had dinner.
you know, this particular pastor was very foolish in the sense that when he got into the den, apparently the lions retreated. They actually retreated, and he thought that God was working. God was the one making the animals, the lions retreat, not knowing that they were retreating to lunch. You know, they were retreating to,
Size him up or something.
yeah, and he kept on going further and further. He was, going towards the lions.
I have a new take on it now. I believe that this pastor was not a Christian. I believe that this pastor
Hmm.
was a pagan,
Hmm. Okay.
and what he was doing was offering himself up as a sacrifice, as a human sacrifice to some pagan god for some reason.
Hmm.
Now, why doesn't that make sense? Well, it makes just as much sense as Christianity.
Right.
You can make up any old crap for religion and for
Yes. Yes, you
ritual and
can.
for any
Yes.
bullshit.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And
Yes.
I was telling you the story of being told to stay in the marriage.
Ah, yes. Carry on with that one.
and the pastors and the elders in the church saying there must be something you're doing wrong. That's why he's not changing. Just keep on praying. Just keep on, doing what you need to do. Uh, uh just bear with him. Just, God will change him. God will
So
intervene.
how did this
And
God know what God's going to do? That's the thing. Well, that's my question.
who?
This this guy is giving this information, this advice about
It's
what
different.
God's going to do.
It's different people.
Oh, different people.
Yes, it's different people.
So okay, so neither of them know God. Basically, is what you're saying.
No,
They're just
they
bullshitting
just
you.
has there's you.
It's just
And so
BS.
can you imagine being in that marriage and assuming or not just believing every word these people said? But I would come away resenting God and being angry with God if you knew that I'm going through such a bad time in this marriage, but somehow you wouldn't come and make it right. Somehow I'm supposed to carry on just going to church, to carry on just believing God and worshiping God and doing everything. But I'm going through such a hard time. And this God is supposed to be able to help me, but
Yeah.
chooses not to help. He knows I'm going through a bad time. I'm supposed to carry on praying and well, I'm glad I saw the light.
So am
I'm
I.
glad that I um you know said no more to abuse and no more to that kind of behavior.
So
I
when
was
you
told
say
that
when you excuse me, but when you say abuse, is this abuse of a man oppressing a woman, or a man who thinks he's above a woman? What kind of a dynamic was there between the two of you in terms of the man
Sydney,
woman relationship?
Sydney, there
Yeah.
was physical abuse,
Ooh.
there was verbal abuse, emotional abuse, and yes, this dynamic that the man is the head and the woman is not allowed to speak.
Yes. That was part of it.
So anytime he's angry, I'm supposed to shut my mouth
Indeed.
and not say a word. So when he's angry, just let him go off. Let him say his piece. And as the woman, I'm supposed to just shut my mouth. Now, when he's making wrong decisions, I'm supposed to let him carry on in the wrong decisions because he is the head of the home. And anytime I try to say, well, hang on, I think you might be making a wrong decision here, he would say, no, you're trying to challenge my authority in this home. And I don't like that. So I have to not say anything,
That
just
doesn't sound
watch
like a
him.
marriage. That sounds like a job.
Now, I was there for 10 years. So
Wow.
it was horrible, Sydney. It was horrible. And the final straw, my marriage nearly caused me to have a mental breakdown. I was in the hospital 5 nights. And when I came out of hospital, I said, enough, enough. When your marriage causes you to get so bad that you are taken into hospital and nearly sectioned under the Mental Health Act
Wow.
because you're married, I said, I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what God thinks. If he hates divorce, well, sod it. I was still a Christian, but and guess what, Sydney?
Wow.
Everyone said God hates divorce. you're not allowed to divorce. You've got to stay in that marriage. You've got to do this, and you've got to.
When did
5 months.
when did
Wait,
you
let
okay,
me
I'm
finish.
sorry. I'm
Let me
sorry.
finish.
Okay.
You need to hear this, Sydney.
Okay,
Fi-
carry on.
5 months after I said enough, guess what? There was pictures of him and my friend on Facebook getting married.
5 months after what?
5 months after I said bye bye to the marriage, I said I'm done
And the
with your
divorce was
husband.
through? Everything was over?
The answer is no. No,
No?
he went back to Africa to go and get married so that
Uh, no.
there wouldn't be
Okay.
repercussions.
Okay. You must have been very happy
So
with that.
I can't prove their marriage. I can't. But what? They're living together. Him and she's my friend. He moved on within 5 months, and God hates divorce.
Well, this is the question. Who said God firstly exists? And secondly, even if God did exist, you would have no way of knowing whether God hates divorce or gives a shit about anything to do with you or me or anything. So, so focusing into God hates divorce doesn't seem to be very. It doesn't seem to fit into the greater importance of the meaning of
The
life
very
and the
thing,
health and this. What's that about?
Sydney. I only came to that realization that God does not exist only recently.
Oh,
It was not in my. It was not in my. I believed God existed then.
but
So
okay. Did,
now,
did you did you believe God existed because you really believed it? Because you've been told it from such a young age that you just didn't question it.
yes,
That was it.
yes,
Yeah.
I just assumed there had to be something. There had to be, and all these people are telling us God this, God that. They hear from God. They must. God might just have a select few that He speaks to.
Oh, how convenient for
Hmm.
those few.
Yes, yes, that God has a select few that He speaks to, He communes with, and in fact, one pastor came and said God came down and drank tea with him. So
Excuse me, God came down. You know what? I have a video. I've already played it. It's of Shani for Christ. You know Shani for Christ, our Christian friend. She made a video in which she said that God came down to her while she was in the shower, and she made a whole big video of Jesus joining her in the shower
oh my
and how
gosh.
she bent before him. It was just a projection, um, a projection deluxe. Really,
My
we've got Wild Heart 666 in the chat who
my
says, "Do you see? Good show. I like your guest."
my ex-husband
Yes.
once told me
What?
God speaks to him in the shower.
Oh my God!
When he's
Another
having a
Shani.
shower, that's when God speaks to him the most. But it's
Oh
rather
yeah,
rather convenient
isn't it?
that God always seems to validate his bad behavior. You know, God always seems to
Of
validate
course, God's a man.
behavior,
Hmm?
and this God never seems to tell them what they should do to
No.
to change their behavior and um to listen to people and to do what's right. But God somehow speaks to them to validate the bad behavior.
Indeed. What was your concept of God? Was God something close or something mysterious? Or what was God to you?
So, the concept of God, and this is one of the reasons why
Yeah.
uh, I left religion.
Okay.
In Africa, we were made to believe that he was this number one white Caucasian, skin. Everything was white.
How did they emphasize that God was white?
The books you read, the books you read,
Okay.
the
The pictures in the books, or the
videos you watch, the pictures, everything. God is always depicted as a big white.
okay,
Um,
and you're talking in Africa itself.
yes,
So I cannot but think that the colonialists have so embedded their indoctrination into your culture that this is the result.
yes, and
Unbelievable.
I plan to do a video soon about the damaging effects of colonialism.
In your case, who were the colonists?
The British
The
were.
British, yeah. Me too. Every country I've ever lived in has been either a current or past British disaster
Colon.
of a colony. Yeah.
And so I grew up believing that Jesus was a Caucasian, blonde hair, blue eyes,
From
that
Germany, right? Or from
that's
or from Scandinavia.
wherever.
Okay.
And then only when I became, you know, grown, completely grown,
What age?
and
What age is completely grown?
about 30, I was 39 at this time, 39.
Oh, 39 is way into middle life, into middle age.
And so
You midlife crisis about to hit.
I started seeing things, saying Jesus was not a white man. In fact, he might have been black. And I'm thinking, nah, hang on. No, no, no. You people have got it wrong. No, we were told that he's a white man. And
Hmm.
then I started seeing things. Okay, if he was from the Middle East, where he was supposed to be from, he might have been brown. I thought, oh, no, no, no. And then Sydney, I don't know if I told you
No,
that
probably not.
I was working my way to becoming a priest in the Church of
Yes,
England.
you did tell me that. In the Church of England. This is when you cut to England. Now you came from Africa.
Hang on, I got something to show you.
All right.
Hold on.
Oh, the suspense is killing me. Okay, we we have a British apologist in the chat saying sorry, we stole your country and fucked up your culture.
I'm going to cover my name, okay? Because
Uh,
it's
I
but
can't
this
see
is
it. Okay, what is that?
it's a certificate, right?
Okay.
And it is pathways to ministry.
Okay.
This is to certify that myself
Yes.
successfully completed the pathways to ministry 2018 to 2019 course.
You're a
So
very new atheist.
my path was
Yes.
set to becoming a priest
You can
in
still
church.
you could still be a priest in church and make money at it, right?
I can, I can.
Yeah.
Sydney, if I call them up tomorrow and say, look, I've got a change of heart, I still
Yeah.
want to go ahead,
Yeah.
they'll have me any day of the week. But this is
Sounds like a decent income for not doing anything.
yeah. But then the thing is, I am I am not one for pretense.
I understand that, but you see, the business world is
Mm,
doesn't care. The business world is all about pretense because a lot of business decisions are made on impression.
yes.
So when you're a pastor, it's all about impression. And when
True.
people are impressed, they're going to give you money.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a good gig. Christian preaching and making money out of Christianity, because, as a business, is a good gig because as a cult leader, which is what you would be, you would be fully legally able to take advantage of feeble-minded people,
People. Mm-hmm.
which on this planet happens to be about 90% of all people.
Wow.
So your market reach is vast. It's wide. People are stupid and really, I mean, when I say stupid, I mean triple X stupid. And when you say, tithe me your 10% and I will guide God through you and I will ease your pain, just stick with me. When you do stuff like that, people feel like you care, like, there's a bit of a burden on their shoulders is lifted and they'll pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I support a Pentecostal pastor, whatever. What would you call yourself? Minister?
Priest.
Priest. Oh, okay. Pentecostal priest.
I, I would have been a priest. Mm.
I tell you what, how about we do this? Every Sunday morning at 11 a.m. British Standard Time, we have Pentecostal priest hour.
Okay.
And then you come on and you do a bit of Pentecostal
Preaching.
preaching with your new atheist background,
Okay.
and see if you can reshape the Pentecostal thinking
Mm.
to become more rational.
Okay.
I think that's impossible, personally.
You think it's impossible? Well,
I do.
I can try.
Okay, what would be your method? I mean, how could you possibly introduce an a life of pure accountability to people who, because of their laziness
Mm-hmm.
and their compunction to not, to put the blame on others. Well, put the blame on God. Okay. Whatever I do, it's, I'm sorry, I repent of this or that and the other. I'm a sinner, so what I do is just a sin. I'm human. La 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 la. So you don't have to account for anything you do.
Mm-hmm.
That's Christianity. Now, how do you persuade your audience, the people who are paying you money? How do you persuade them to take accountability, to be accountable for their own actions at all times?
I think that's part of the reasons why I started my YouTube channel.
Hey, you know who's in the side chat? Just to Maria's World is in the side chat.
Oh, hey.
Hey, Maria. Hello. Oh, I better use this hand so you can see me. Ooh, hey, Derry.
I've seen her in the chat.
What?
So,
Excuse me?
I've seen her in.
Oh, you saw her? Yeah.
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 So, and that's one of the reasons why I started my YouTube channel. There was a story was circulating in Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
This man had gone on to, you know, I don't know if he raped the girl, but he had done something to her, and
Well, okay.
he was caught. He was caught in the act. There was CCTV cameras,
Okay.
and he was caught red-handed. And
Oh, you froze. Or I froze. All right, who's frozen? Can somebody tell me who? Can somebody tell me? Can you see me or the African Humanist? Or is she frozen? Or have I frozen? Or is the world frozen? Let me see if I can type something in chat. See if it goes through. Help me out, somebody. I can't tell. I can't tell. Investigations are underway. See, it says that the African Humanist is still in the chat. Now, she's gone. So we'll have to wait for her to come back. Ooh, I better remove that. While we wait for the... Actually, while... Ah, here we go. She's back. Welcome back.
Sorry about that. It was my internet.
All right, no problem.
Yeah, was I saying something before I went off?
No, you were completely silent. There was dead air. Everybody was
Oh,
bored out of their mind because they couldn't hear anything.
oh no, I apologize. Making your live stream. Sorry about that.
Okay, well, that's a good thing because I wanted to ask you to give a bit of a background. You jumped from Africa to Nigeria, but I was wondering if you could give a bit of a broader background of yourself relative to your Nigerian experience, because I understand Nigeria to be like a massive, massive country with millions and billions and zillions of people, and there being a kind of sectarian divider between Christians and Muslims. I don't know what the ratio is, so maybe you could sort of give a bit of a background there.
Okay. I'm half Nigerian. I'm not completely
Well, where were you
like
born? Where were you born?
in Nigeria.
Okay, so you're a Nigerian citizen.
Well, yes, I am
Okay,
unfortunate.
and
Um,
but you're half Nigerian. You said
but I'm half Nigerian. My mom was from Malawi.
so you're half Nigerian, half Malawian.
Malawian, yes.
Okay, is that like a
And
is that different
it's a different
tribes or something?
African country. It's a different
I
African
understand that.
country.
Okay,
It's a country.
ethnicity, does it make it an ethnic difference?
No, well, yes, huge, huge, huge. Oh
Oh,
gosh,
tell me about that. Tell me about the
no,
ethnic differences between Nigerians and Malawans. I didn't know there was one.
there's no everything about those two countries are completely different.
Uh-oh.
Everything. There's just no except color of the skin. They don't share the same language, don't share the same food, don't share the same everything's completely different. But I grew up with my mom, and
Okay.
I'm glad for the Malawian upbringing. My mom, she was she was Christian, but she was a free thinker.
Mm-hmm.
She was she didn't really let Christianity dictate too much, uh, everything. She
Right.
would allow for some, should create leeway for some things. Whereas the Nigerian, they're very, very religious. It's got to be, it's a highway, or, you either go this way or it's no way at all. So I'm glad that I had that bit of mom's, um, how she raised us. Mom was, she was not the average Nigerian mother.
Mm-hmm.
My mom would tell us, if you have a boyfriend, bring him home. I want to meet him.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the typical Nigerian mother, you you don't even speak and say, I've got a boyfriend. How dare you? You you would be you would be grounded. You know? Yeah. So my mom was quite she was quite
She was pretty.
good.
So you had a really, really. You were very fortunate. You had a very positive. You had lots of positive childhood experiences.
No, no,
Oh,
um,
damn!
no,
I thought I nailed it there, but sorry.
no, no. Positive childhood experiences? I don't think so. They were
Sorry for
positive
jumping to
because
a conclusion.
no, it's okay. They were positive because mom made us just look on the bright side of things.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
even when things were really bad, mom still would try and put a smile on our face and try and make us think, that things were going to be okay.
Right.
But about a good childhood, oh no, 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 no. My father was never in our lives. He was in and out, off with different women, and he was a horrible father, a horrible husband, a horrible everything you can think of. He was,
So was he
and
A Christian man?
yeah, yeah, still is, still is. He's old now.
What
He's
was the
really
difference? What was the difference between your father and your husband in terms of the Christian part of it?
not a lot different. Not a lot different. They're one and the same. They go to church. They're a different character. But the moment they're out of church, they're completely different character. They're not the same. When they're in church, they're holier than thou. They're butter won't melt in the mouth. But
Okay.
the moment they're outside church, they're completely different. Uh, you know, just oh no, no. I'm gonna have to go soon.
It's okay. I
Um,
just want to make. I just want to repeat what Maria's world says, and she's making it make a good point. I mean, you can see it on the screen if you're watching the live.
yeah,
She says,
I'm I'm
No
looking at it on my
Christian,
phone.
no Christian had a good upbringing. Point blank.
Yes,
Good point. Thank you,
no Christian
Maria.
child, no Christian child had a good upbringing. No.
Wow. Well, you know what? This has been a very awesome chat that I have here with you. Yeah. Tell your partner there that you'll be just a second.
Not
Eh,
my partner. No, it's just me and my boys.
Okay.
That's my son.
All right, young ones. Your mom will be with you soon. Very soon.
Yes, son. Yeah. So
Okay. Well,
there's,
thank you again.
there's there's that video. I thought you were going to show it, but at some point, maybe
Yeah.
June.
Well, I
Um.
would if you we could do this. I mean, we can continue this at some point when you're
Oh,
available.
absolutely, absolutely,
All right.
absolutely. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad to be able to walk away from Christianity, to walk away from religion, and to see the light. It's it has been difficult. Imagine being a Christian and at the age of 40, just realizing it's a lie, and your life has been defined by this religion all your life, and you've got to, it's like a loss of identity. It's a loss of who I was. But now I'm, slowly and steadily trying to make sense of, just realizing that the God we were told doesn't exist. The whole Jesus person, the a pointless ordeal. Why would a God kill his own son when he could easily just forgive without having to shed any blood, without having to waste anybody's life? And to think that Mary, the mother of Jesus, when you look in the history, they say she was between the age of 12 and 14. This God would choose a baby to bring forth his grand master plan. It just, Christianity um does not pass when logic is when logic is
Applied.
applied to Christianity.
Exactly. Yeah.
It doesn't pass.
No,
It is
it
it
doesn't.
fails woefully.
I
So I'm
agree.
glad that I and to think my 18-year-old son has been a lifelong atheist. When we used to take him to church, he just could never understand how adults were believing stories in the Bible of talking snakes and talking donkeys, and you know he just, and I'm glad that he never bought into
I hope
religion.
every 18-year-old on the planet today thinks exactly the same as your son.
I hope so. And let me tell you, um, I was told that if you don't get him right, if you don't take him to church, and he's going to be a bad boy, he's going to be in a gang, he's going to turn out bad. But no, my
Exactly.
18-year-old, as we speak, he is at his part time job with Amazon.
Oh, he's got a great mother.
He is also
Congratulations.
he is also training to be an electrician. He's doing
Nice.
fantastic. He is at college. He's got two part-time jobs. He doesn't have to, but
He's got no time to join a gang. He's got these jobs, he's at school. He's got time for
he is.
gangs.
Without religion, he is brilliant. Oh my goodness,
You're proud, huh?
and I'm so glad for him.
Good.
Yeah,
I'm happy for you.
my 11-year-old, his dad is religious, and he said to mom, "You're always watching atheist things. Every day you watch atheist this and atheist that. Tell me about what an atheist." And I told him what an
Mm,
atheist is.
mm.
But I also told him that he is only 11, and he doesn't have to make any choices. He doesn't have to,
He doesn't have to
because I'm
make
an
choices,
atheist.
but he does have to be open to. He should be introduced to the wonderment of science
Yes, oh, he loves science. He
and
wants to be a
space
scientist
exploration and cosmology.
yeah,
And
he wants to be a scientist or an engineer. That's what he wants to be when he grows up. And but I
I
have
thought he
said
was
to
going to be an
him,
electrician.
no, that's my 18-year-old.
Oh, your 18-year-old's an electrician and the 11-year-old's an
Yes,
engineer. Ah, okay, got it.
he wants to be either a scientist or an engineer. And I've said to him, with me, religion, I will never force a religion down your throat. If you grow up and choose a religion, it's fine with me, as long as you are a rational, um, uh, one who reasons, and it's his choice what he decides to do. But he's still young, and I say to him, "You still got plenty of time, young man. Don't just ignore your mom and her atheist programs and the atheist things what she's watching, and." trying to undo the brainwashing and undo the indoctrination and all that good stuff.
Yeah, just tell him to answer. Just tell him to ask questions. Question everything.
Yeah, yeah, I would never. And you, Sydney, I don't know if I ever told you, my 11-year-old, he was about 8 or 9 when he came to me and said, I don't want to be a Christian anymore. And when I asked him why not, he said, I don't like blood. And I heard that when Jesus died, he was killed and there was blood. He said, Mommy, I don't like blood.
You know
I don't
what?
want Christian.
You underline
And
and
that,
emphasize why I think that religion should be kept away from children.
yes, and I agree. So can you imagine an 8-year-old saying, I don't want to be a Christian because I don't like blood, and somehow the person who personifies Christianity had to die such a barbaric death.
Again, I hope every single 8-year-old thinks the same way as your son, because as soon if the younger people are so are so information rich that they can figure it all out rationally without question, then I think the future of our humanity is one of no religion,
Mm,
at least not in the mainstream. And that, to me, is music to my ears.
hmm hmm
I know you have to go. I really don't want to keep you longer than you have to be
This,
here.
this has been great, and yes, I will. I'll carry on coming in your live streams and
I
you
appreciate
know
it.
saying something and uh, you know, yes.
Okay, so when we carry on, um, we'll pick it up. We'll pick it up from Nigeria, okay? Because
Okay.
we didn't get too deep into it at the time.
No, no.
Okay, yes,
And
sir.
that's a very interesting topic to get into because some parts of Nigeria still have blasphemy laws.
Okay,
Um, Someone was killed recently for blasphemy. In Nigeria, you get 14 years if you're LGBT, LGBT plus, LGBTQ plus orientated. So it's an interesting conversation which needs to be had.
excuse me. Okay, yeah, yeah. That's certainly. I'm looking forward to having that conversation for sure.
Mhm.
Okay. Thanks again for coming, and have a
Thank
very
you.
safe day and night until I see you again.
Thank you very much. And I'll see you again really soon. And
Okay.
everyone, chat. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye bye. Undo the brainwashing and undo the indoctrination and all that good stuff.
Yeah, just tell him to answer. Just tell him to ask questions. Question everything.
Yeah, yeah, I would never. And you, Sydney, I don't know if I ever told you, my 11-year-old, he was about 8 or 9 when he came to me and said, I don't want to be a Christian anymore. And when I asked him why not, he said, I don't like blood. And I heard that when Jesus died, he was killed and there was blood. He said, "Mommy, I don't like blood.
You know
I
what?
don't want Christian."
You underline and emphasize why I think that religion should be kept away from children.
Yes, and I agree. So can you imagine an 8-year-old saying, "I don't want to be a Christian because I don't like blood," and somehow the person who personifies Christianity had to die such a barbaric death?
Again, I hope every single 8-year-old thinks the same way as your son, because as soon if the younger people are so are so information rich that they can figure it all out rationally without question, then I think the future of our humanity is one of no religion, at least not in the mainstream, and that to me is music to my ears. I know you have to go. I really don't want to keep you longer than you have to be here.
This has been great, and yes, I'll carry on coming in your live streams and
I appreciate it.
Saying something and yes.
Okay, so when we carry on, we'll pick it up. We'll pick it up from Nigeria, okay? Because we didn't get too deep into it at the time.
No.
Okay, yes.
And that's a very interesting topic to get into, because some parts of Nigeria still have blasphemy laws. Someone was killed recently for blasphemy. In Nigeria, you get 14 years if you're LGBTQ plus orientated. So it's an interesting conversation which needs to be had.
Excuse me. Okay, yeah. That's certainly. I'm looking forward to having that conversation for sure. Okay. Thanks again for coming, and have a very safe day and night until I see you again.
Thank you very much, and I'll see you again really soon. And
okay.
Everyone, see you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.